Welcome, I'm Rose Oatley, and today I'm going to show you how to make some delicious Crab Rangoons. So what do you say? Let's get cooking.
We're going to start by chopping up 2 stalks of green onion. Now I do want to apologize in advance for my voice. As some of you know, I have been sick, but I wanted to make sure I got this video edited for you and sent out. Here I'm going to be cracking 2 eggs to make some egg wash, although you really only need 1 egg. We're just going to give these a quick whisk and then set aside. You're going to need 2 blocks of softened Philadelphia cream cheese, so make sure you let them sit out for at least an hour in advance. Here you're going to see me put 1 block in, but I will add a second one later. Next, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Make sure it's garlic powder and not garlic salt. Add 1 teaspoon of low sodium soy sauce. 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. And I also like to add 1/4 teaspoon of sesame oil. Now this is optional, you don't need to add it, but I like the extra taste that it gives it. I also like to go in with a little bit of salt and pepper, not too much salt because you've got soy sauce in there already. As I said earlier, I was going to go in with a second block of cheese, and this is it right here. Make sure you have 2 total blocks of cheese. Now we're going to start mixing. I like to use my mixer to kind of whip it up a little bit. You're welcome to use a spoon instead if you like. I just like mine whipped. We're also going to be adding some crab meat. This is the one I like to use. You could use real crab meat or you could use imitation crab meat. Whatever you have, you can just go with it. This one is 8 ounces, and I'm probably going to add about half of this, so it would be a total of 4 ounces. Now we're ready to add the green onions we chopped up. And now you want to mix to combine everything together. If you're wondering, I did end up getting COVID for the 2nd time, and I am vaccinated, but this time I got hit pretty hard with every symptom. And on the 4th day, I ended up losing my taste and smell. I am now like on the 12th day, and I still haven't gotten it back. So please say a prayer that I get it back, because this is not fun. It's a good thing that I had a couple of videos recorded in advance. Alright, so now you're going to need some wontons. These are the ones that I like to use. Whatever you've got is fine. And you want to make sure that you take a paper towel, a damp paper towel, and put it on top in between each use so that they don't stick together. This is going to kind of help keep them moist, and they'll also separate a lot easier. Sometimes I like to mix in a little bit of olive oil in my egg wash. You really don't need much. And by the way, you don't have to use egg wash either. You could use plain water, and that'll do as well. I just prefer the egg wash. Alright, so to our wonton, using a brush, I'm just going to go ahead and brush some of my egg wash. And I like to do the whole wonton. You don't have to do it. You could just stick to the sides. I just prefer to do the whole wonton. That way there won't be any question of any of it not sticking. Using a cookie scoop, you can add your mixture so you get the same amount every time, or you can use a spoon as well, whatever you have. Alright, so now we're going to gather each corner, and then starting from the bottom, you want to start squeezing, releasing some of the air out, and then sealing your wonton completely. And be very careful if you have nails that you don't puncture it, otherwise it will seep out while you're frying them. Alright, so then I also kind of like to push the bottom down a little bit to kind of create a little square. Make sure your sides are sealed completely, that way the mixture doesn't seep out later. Let's do another one real quick and then we'll head to the stove. There's different ways that you can fold wontons, but I'm showing you the most popular way today.
You're watching Rose Oatley. Like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell to get notified of any new videos.
All my wontons are wrapped and I'm ready to start frying. Here I've got a small pot. Now you can use a larger pot if you like. You'll just need more oil. And I'm going to be using some Crisco vegetable oil today. We're going to go ahead and fill the pot up. Now I usually like to fill it up about 2 inches. I do like to use a thermometer to make sure that I hit the right temp. And I'll post a link below in my description section on where you can get a thermometer like this one. They're very inexpensive and will work great for you. Now I want to make sure that I fill my pot enough so that my thermometer can also read the temperature. I would say about 2 inches is good enough. Enough for the wontons to also be submerged in there. It's not going to cover them completely, but that's perfectly fine. All right, guys. So now I'm going to be letting my oil heat up, and we want it to come to 340 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, my temperature is now 340 and rising. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this down just a little bit so it doesn't go too much higher. It took about a good 8 minutes to come to that temperature. Let's go ahead and start adding some of these. Just make sure that you don't overcrowd them. And please be very careful because the grease is very hot. All right, this is probably good enough for now. I'm going to be cooking these in batches anyway. We're going to be cooking them for 3 minutes or until they're nice and golden brown. You want to try and push them down every so often. If you can, go ahead and flip them over just so that they turn golden brown all around. Also, if you notice them kind of bubbling up a little bit, don't be alarmed. It just means that a little bit of air got in there and they'll be perfectly fine. They're not going to taste any different. These are sometimes kind of hard to turn around, so sometimes I just like to use tongs. If any of the mixture seeps out, just try and remove it with a spoon. That way it doesn't splatter all over you. These are looking pretty good. They're nice and golden brown, just like we want them. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these out. Now you could use a plate with a paper towel so it'll absorb any excess grease, or you could use a pan with a rack like I'm doing here. You want to make sure you let them rest for a little while you continue to cook the others. And you also don't want to bite into them right away because you don't want to burn your mouth. Also, to put them in, you can use a spoon like I'm using here today. That way you don't burn yourself. I'll post one in my description section below of my video. Again, you can find lots of links to a lot of the items that I use in my kitchen there. And you'll also find all of the ingredients used in this recipe in the description below. All right, so here you go. They're all done. And here on my left side, I have the ones that I deep fried, and I do have some that I air fried on the right side, and I'll make a separate video for that. I also like to use this sweet chili sauce. This one is from P.F. Chang's, but you can use any sauce you like. You could also use sweet and sour sauce. Now, how delicious do these look? You can make them and watch Netflix while munching on them. You could make them for your next party. Take them to your next party and people will love you for it. And especially with the holidays coming up, it's a perfect appetizer. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give this a like, comment, and share with your friends to help me out. Thanks a lot for your support. I appreciate you watching.
If you haven't already subscribed, please be sure to do so below or hit my little picture on the side. Also, don't forget to hit the little bell to get notified of all of my new videos, and please be sure to check out these links on the side. Share with your friends. Thanks for watching and your support.